So welcome back to the series on DDT and the military. We are watching a training film for the U.S. Navy that was put out in 1944. So the theater of war is still occurring in the Pacific. And the propaganda is that we have to watch out for an unseen enemy, which are all these little bugs and mosquitoes and things like that. So graciously, the military developed DDT.
By a German chemist in 1874, DDT had not been recognized as an insecticide until 1939, when a Swiss chemical firm began to use it against moths and plant lice.
Interesting, because 1939 is just about the start of World War II. The so-called invasion of Poland, September 1st, 1939.
It arrived unheralded, but inherent was the power to curb epidemics. For almost 2 years after its
Curb or create?
arrival in the United States, DDT was available only in quantities sufficient for experimentation. During this period, a formula for DDT emulsion concentrate.
Now notice the so-called lady is really an emaciated man. Okay? They were doing this way back in 44. Okay? There's no cleavage, nothing. Lengthy arms. Okay? A little bit of lipstick. But obviously an anorexic or bulimic man.
And liquid in the flask was developed. It was found that the ideal dilution is 1 part emulsion concentrate to 4 parts water. This produces a 5% DDT emulsion. When thoroughly mixed, the DDT hangs in suspension. If this mixture is sprayed, the DDT makes a residual deposit. It was also found that when the mixture stands for 24 to 48 hours, a creamy layer rises to the surface, indicating a breaking of the emulsion. Yet stirring returns it to its former constituency, and it regains its original effectiveness. In comparing the relative effectiveness of DDT and fuel oils, it was found that 1/2 pint of 25% DDT emulsion concentrate is equivalent in insecticidal power to 1 gallon of 2 1/2% DDT solution. In either form, it is adequate to destroy mosquito larvae over an area of 1 acre.
So they're trying to sell it to you and sell it later to the farmers and sell it to the town council, all right? So this is a sales job. Just a little wee bit of DDT is far better than the other.
Earlier larviciding without DDT required 3 5-gallon jars of diesel oil per acre. To repeat, 1/2 pint of DDT emulsion concentrate or 1 gallon of 2 1/2% DDT solution is equal in larviciding power to 15 gallons of diesel oil. Tests were also made to determine
Larviciding power. What about the power on the human body? We'll get to that, because remember, whatever they're saying about the insects is true about the human body.
the physiologic effect of DDT upon insects. Absorbed through the feet or other parts of the body, DDT affects the nervous system and motor coordination of the insect.
What? The motor system and coordination? Boy, that certainly sounds to me like what they call polio.
Several hours elapse before symptoms develop. Then in sequence follow restlessness, tremors, convulsions, paralysis, and death.
Did he say paralysis? How about let's use another word in science, correlation. Is there a correlation between the spraying of this stuff and paralysis in the land? Now remember, the year of this film is 1944. The polio scare will not occur until the 50s in the U.S.
Flies and mosquitoes react most quickly to this insecticide. Death comes more slowly to bed bugs and roaches. Complete annihilation of mosquito larvae requires 24 hours. Under the influence of DDT, they become paralyzed.
What? What did you say? Under the influence of DDT, they become paralyzed. Maybe we should move from correlation to causation. What do you think?
And are unable to return to the water surface. After a few hours, death ensues for all. The sample in the center so closely resembles cornstarch on the left and flour on the right that obviously this insecticide should not be stored in galleys. Because oil solutions penetrate the skin, carelessness in handling them is dangerous.
So it's dangerous. They admit it's dangerous. And yet they're going to get it out and put it everywhere. We'll see that a little bit later. Remember, this is an early film. It's 1944. They admit it's dangerous.
If knapsack-type equipment must be used, it should be only half filled to avoid spillage. Occasional contact is not harmful. Repeated contact must be avoided. One of the forms in which DDT is supplied in the Navy is the 100% powder for the preparation of oil solutions. When exposed to atmosphere and sunlight, it does not evaporate nor deteriorate. Unless all lumps are broken apart, a jelly-like coat which defies solution forms about them when they are mixed with oil. Contact of the hands upon the dry powder is not dangerous. For in this form, DDT is not a...
What? It's not dangerous? What? Just about 2 minutes ago, they said everything was dangerous.
Absorbed through the skin. The physical properties of DDT are such that it may be dispersed in emulsions, in oil solutions, or in dust solutions. Oil solutions are probably the most useful form. Diesel oil number 2 as a solvent gives excellent results, for it has a viscosity well suited to the sprayers now in use. The powder is thoroughly suspended in a small quantity of oil before it is added to the bulk in the drum. Saturated fuel oils contain...
It's like a witch's cauldron. We can't wait to get this stuff sprayed and painted everywhere on the military. Let's see what happens to them first before we inflict it upon the U.S. population.
Contain about 9% DDT. Crude kerosene dissolves about 7%. Refined kerosene less than 4%. In mixing oil solutions, especial care against contact with the skin should be exercised, for the oil penetrates the skin. Large doses of DDT lead to nerve and liver damage.
What? What? Nerve and liver damage? Nerve damage? Sounds to me like polio.
DDT goes into solution in oils rather slowly, requiring 12 to 24 hours. The warmth of the sun and hourly stirring by rolling hasten the process. DDT does not deteriorate under temperatures encountered in ordinary storage aboard ship or in the tropics. When a dry mix is desired, the 10% DDT powder is diluted with fine road dust, condemned flour, lime, or soapstone.
Now look, they have this man, whoever he is, with no protection on whatsoever, inhaling all this chemical crap. Come on. Experimentation on the military first.
100% DDT occurs in particles too large and hard to be broken up without heavy grinding equipment. Hence, it cannot be diluted in the field for use as a dust. Thorough mechanical mixing is required. The strength of the mixture is determined by its intended use. It would be difficult to scatter 1 pound of 10% dust evenly over 1 acre, but 10 pounds of 1% dust may easily be spread over the same area. Now let's consider the ways to disperse DDT. Equipped with a supply of oil solution and power spraying equipment, a malaria control squad enters an abandoned village, a reservoir of infection. Within 24 hours, the vectors of typhus, yellow fever, malaria, dengue, filariasis, and dysentery begin to disappear. DDT is not a repellent.
So magical properties. Spraying within 24 hours. Everybody's fine, right?
However, it kills, surely, but slowly. Hence, its effectiveness cannot be measured by a count of dead insects, or after...
Yeah, how about paralyzed human beings and dead human beings? That's how we'll measure its effectiveness. Anyhow, I'll stop right here and we'll move on to part number 3. I'd like to thank you for watching. End of part 2.